back here on the GSMC Baseball Podcast, bringing you our fifth and final segment here today, which is going to be talking about the National League and my playoff predictions for them. We, of course, just did the American League, so now we'll be finishing our show off today, which is full of predictions. If you want to catch those, or really watch the live stream if you want, or, of course, I'll be posting these videos later tonight, and you can watch them as well as individual segments. But we did all kinds of playoff predictions. We all did all kinds of predictions today, going over all the standings, and then the playoffs of the American League. So we'll now be finishing off with the National League. So, yeah, going over all the seeds I have, going over why I had these teams in specific order, playoffs and all that. So, yeah, we'll be getting into that, and, yeah. So, in first place in the National League is the one seed I have, of course, the Philadelphia Phillies. I was debating it between them and the Dodgers, but I just think the lead the Phillies have right now above them is just going to continue to propel them into the second half. I think they're going to continue to be just great, and as much as the Dodgers team is very good, I think this Phillies team is going to continue to be very, very good and end up becoming the first seed for the NL. Second place, I have the Los Angeles Dodgers. Again, I was between them and the Phillies. I think right now both of them have proven to be the class of the NL for this year. Both have been absolutely incredible. And, yeah, I think both are right now the two best teams in the NL. And I think both are going to continue to win their divisions. So, yeah, there we go. Third place, I have, of course, the Milwaukee Brewers. I had them winning the NL Central. But, obviously, I didn't have them for second because I had the Phillies and Dodgers there. So, of course, the Brewers had to be third place here for the NL Central, for the NL playoff predictions. So, now we're getting into the wild card seeds, which should be very fun. Now, fourth, I have the Braves. I don't think that's a shocker to anyone. I want to get that out of the way. The Braves are a very good team, one of the best teams in the entire league. Would probably win any other division. Would probably win the NL Central. I don't think they'd win the West or the East this year, actually, but with the injuries they've had, still a fantastic team, and I do have them here at fourth. Now, fifth and sixth is where I had a lot of trouble. Now, there are so many teams I consider for this because there are so many teams right now in the run for the playoffs. I mean, there are just so many teams that have a genuine chance to make the wild card. I want to go over them, okay? So, we have, of course, the Cardinals, the Mets, the Diamondbacks, the Padres, the Pirates, the Reds, and the Giants. You could also add the Cubs and Nationals in there. I did. That's 6 teams that have a genuine chance. Yeah, 6 teams that have a genuine chance to end up going to the playoffs as a wildcard seed. A real chance. Like, I would say it's a very good chance in any other year. It's just there are so many teams like that I had to leave, of course, 4 of them out because only 2 of them can make it. That's obviously how baseball works. Thank you, Sam. So, with this, 3 teams immediately stood out to me. Now, I want to mention that the 4 other teams, actually, it's 7, that I did not mention, I still think are very good, but I thought the 3 teams I'm going to mention here are better. So, the 3 teams I thought stood out to me more for these 2 seeds were the Mets, the Diamondbacks, and the Padres. I thought those 3 teams were better than the other teams, even though the Cardinals, of course, are in the playoffs as the 2nd seed right now. I did not have them in this group of 3. So I narrowed it down to these 3 to make it to the 2 spots. Now, of course, from these 3, I can only pick 2, so 1 would have to be left out. And what I did end up going with was the 5 seed as the Arizona Diamondbacks and the 6 seed as the New York Mets. Now, I left the Padres out because I just simply think the Mets and Diamondbacks are better. There's no crazy reason. I don't think the Padres are bad. I just think, simply put, the Diamondbacks and Mets are better teams, and I think they'll make the playoffs. I think the Giants are a great team. I think the Pirates have become a really good team. I think the Reds, honestly, are a good team. It's just, I think the Cardinals as well are a very good team. I've mentioned these teams, but I just think that with everything going on this year, with the teams you had to pick, I think the Mets and the Diamondbacks have the edges, and I picked them. So, going to the playoffs now, it is going to be the 3-seeded Brewers versus the 6-seeded Mets. I have the Mets taking the upset. I think, simply put, the Mets have more pitching depth than the Brewers, and even though the Brewers are home for all 3 games, David Stearns has connection to that organization. I'm sure he'll know what some kind of strategies they'll have for the playoffs. Again, I think a top 3 of Kodai Senga, Sean Manaea, and Luis Severino with how they played this year. Of course, I'm assuming Senga will be good coming back. Will be very hard for the Brewers to beat because they really only have one good starting pitcher, in my opinion, which is Freddie Peralta. Now, they could add someone significant, but we'll have to see. So, overall, I think that the Mets are going to end up winning the series, but I do think it'll be in 3, and I think it'll be close. I think it was very hard for me to choose, but I did end up going with the Mets. You could say that's biased because, again, I'm a Mets fan. I never try to hide that, but I don't think so. for the next one, we have the 4-seeded Braves versus 5-seeded Diamondbacks. This one was easy to me. I'm picking the Diamondbacks. I think the Diamondbacks, simply put, just have a lot better pitching depth than the Braves. I really don't think that Reynaldo Lopez, Chris Sale are going to continue to be as good as they are. And I think the Diamondbacks, with the pitching depth they have, with the offense they have, are going to win this series. And yeah, it really wasn't even a decision for me, so I do have them going on. So we now have the 1-seeded Phillies versus the 5-seeded Diamondbacks in the National League Division Series. Obviously, I have the Phillies winning. Sorry, Diamondbacks. I really like you guys. I've talked about it many times, but I have the Phillies winning, getting their revenge this time with the Diamondbacks. Of course, they lost last year in the National League Championship Series to them. I just think this Phillies team is too good, and with the pitching that they have, with how good their offense is, I think they're going to win. Then, the 2-seeded Dodgers versus the 6-seeded Mets. This is where I have the Mets losing. I am not crazy enough as a Mets fan to have them beating the Dodgers in a playoff series. Sorry. I think the Dodgers are a much better team, and I do think they end up winning this game. Now, the NL Championship Series. Phillies versus Dodgers. Very hard for me to decide. Very hard for me to decide. But I did go with the Philadelphia Phillies. And the reason I went with the Phillies is I think they have the better offense, and I think overall they have the better pitching staff. I just think in a 7-game series especially, facing Zach Wheeler, then facing Ranger Suarez, then facing Aaron Nola, then facing Christopher Sanchez, then facing Spencer Turnbull or Taijuan Walker, or even Zach Wheeler again if you skip the 5 spot, is too much to handle. And then you have to face a lineup that includes JT Realmuto, Bryce Harper, Trey Turner, Alec Bohm, Brandon Marsh, Nick Castellanos, Kyle Schwarber, and then maybe a corner outfielder they'll add in the trade deadline as well. I just think this Phillies team if they don't win it this year, they'll never win it. I just think they're absolutely incredible this year, the way this team is performing. And I have them going to the World Series, of course, versus the Houston Astros. The matchup of the 2022 World Series. And, yeah. Who do I think now wins the World Series is the question. Of course, if you want to see me predict the Astros to go to the World Series, that was in my American League playoff predictions video, which again, if you're watching on live stream, you can fast forward to the last segment, or if you're watching on YouTube, these YouTube videos, the individual segments I uploaded, you can go watch that. I have the Phillies getting their revenge and winning the World Series. Now, again, everything I said with the Dodgers about a 7-game series, I think stands true for this. I will be perfectly honest with you guys. I hate the Phillies. I'm a Mets fan my entire life. I'm a New Yorker my entire life. I'm not too fond of Philadelphia, as a matter of fact, as well. I don't think New Yorkers can be. But just as a pure baseball fan, as an observer, this Phillies team is incredible. The amount of talent they have on this team is insane. The pitching staff is incredible, and that's why I do have them. Unfortunately, in my opinion, I think they'll win the World Series this year, and that's my prediction. I hope I'm wrong. Believe me, I hope I'm wrong. I hope the Mets win. I really hope the Mets win. Can the Mets do something in my lifetime, please? It's been almost 10 years now. So I think the Phillies will win, unfortunately, but I think the Astros give them a chance. I think it's either 6 or 7, but it was very hard, and I had the Phillies winning. So that is my show for today, guys. I want to thank you so much for watching. Remember to like, subscribe to the notification bell so now you get notified when I upload, what all the other great content creators on this channel do. Today's show was very intact with each other. Like everything was, everything was connected, I'd say. So if you want to, if you're watching on YouTube or you're watching on live stream, again, if you want to watch that, reverse or watch the videos. If you're listening on audio, none of this means anything to you. So I'm just yapping on and on. So that is it for the show today, guys. Again, thank you so much for watching, and we'll see what baseball throws at us tomorrow. Thanks, and bye.
Let's go. I wake up to a little bit of drool on my pillow, feel like it's gonna be a bad day. Yeah, I'm tired of shit, and the coffee ain't hit yet, damn, ain't that great. I don't wanna go to